As a recovering people pleaser, sometimes it's hard for me to distinguish between whether or not something is worthy work or if it is self-sacrificing. I spent a lot of my years just constantly thinking about how I need to show up um, for other people to um, receive me, to accept me, to love me. Um, Now that I'm focusing on embodying freedom, because that's all I've ever wanted, to be free. Not just, I have my physical freedom. I'm not imprisoned or enslaved, anything like that physically, but a lot of people live in mental slavery. And what I mean by that is being boxed in by fear of being seen, fear of failure, fear of whatever the fuck, fear, right? And I lived a lot of my life like that. And now that I have chosen to not live like that anymore, some of the parts of me that developed as a survival response to that kind of stress, constantly living in that kind of fear and the types of fear that people don't talk about. So it's easy for you to just live with them and them to go unnoticed. But now that I'm transitioning, now that I have transitioned and I'm beginning this new life, this new chapter of my life, sometimes I'll fall into a pattern for like a little while of doing things that are not truly fulfilling. And so like I decided to make a video about defining what is work, what is success. And with making a video, this is for me, and it's also for whoever is out there, living in survival mode and or is also in a space of transitioning to living more freely, living more unapologetically, more authentically, more confidently. And you find yourself sometimes performing, and you literally will get to a point where you're exhausted, tired, just like from forcing things to happen. A lot of people think that, being successful, is that booked and busy mantra. But I saw this woman on Instagram and she was talking about, being booked without the busy. And I'm like, yes, I don't want to be fucking busy. I want to be in flow. I want to be happy. And so I'm making this video to clarify for myself what is work, what is success, and I'm also sharing it so that it may help whoever needs to hear this, because I need it for sure. So, what is work? I was reading Bell Hooks' Feminist Theory, and I've been reading it for a while. I still haven't finished it. But in one of the chapters, chapter 7, she was talking about rethinking work, and she talked about it being something that affirms your identity versus negating it. She talked about work being something that is satisfactory, that brings personal satisfaction. And yes, it eventually will help someone in your community, and it will help people who also need it, just like this video. It's helping. This video is bringing me personal satisfaction. It's work, and it also may help whoever watches it and is moved by it and is just helped even by some degree by it. Dog and the kid, so cute. So, um, talking it there, talk. She was talking about it bringing personal satisfaction. Um, and yes, it will satisfy your community, but it's not work from a space of drudgery, like work that is demeaning and work that like makes you feel exhausted and tired, and like you're constantly waiting for the time when you won't have to work again. This is how I lived most of my life, with this kind of exact thought process. I'm doing this kind of work so that I will get to a point where I won't have to work anymore. When I was in high school, I remember my teacher, like she was so, Miss Shears, if you're watching this, I love you. She was my theater teacher, and she asked me, she was like, um, what do you want, what is your goal? You know, you're graduating high school and now you're going out into the world. What do you want? I'm like, to be successful. I was like, to be successful. And she was like, but what does that mean for you? I'm like, to be happy and to just not have to worry about money. Like I was just like, I was very um it was just like so funny. It's so funny to me looking back now. Like she must have been like, oh, she's gonna figure it out. Because the thing about success and happiness is that you have to get clear on what that means for you. But if you don't do the work if you don't do the work, you know, you're going to be chasing after someone else's definition of success and somebody else's definition of happiness. So, I also remember growing up and being like, my dream job is to be retired. Like, I would say that very often. I'm doing all this work to be retired. My major in college, I was computer science for the longest while, and I was majoring computer science so that I could make a lot of money and just like have a good, not too much of a demanding job. Um, and then once I have accomplished, like maybe 10 years of working, I can just like retire and just be financially independent. But my spirit was not going to allow that to happen. If you watch my video about my origin story, or like my journey through post-traumatic stress and all of that, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'll link it if you're interested. But it's just that the definition of work has to be clear, and that your work can't be something that you're doing just to get to a point where you don't have to work anymore. Because the thing about it is, and I learned this, like I've been learning this more and more, freedom is not free. You have to work for it. You have to work for it. If you want to be confident, you have to work for it. If you want to love yourself, you have to work for it. If you want to live in abundance, like true abundance, and live in ease, you have to work for it. And it's not work that breaks your back. It's not work that causes you to feel like you don't know who you are. It's not work that negates your identity versus affirms your identity. It's not any of that. Resting is work for a lot of people, because a lot of us were taught that if you're laying down, if you're not doing anything, then you're lazy and you're not worthy of being a human being. And so resting is something that is work for a lot of people. And so yeah, I'm reminding myself that freedom is not free, and the one thing you don't get any days off from is loving yourself, is fighting for yourself. You have to fight for your freedom, and that fighting could look like taking a shower. That fighting can look like Fighting for yourself always means protecting yourself. Fighting for yourself always means caring for yourself, loving in yourself. So, however that shows up for you, your journaling, your movement practice, dance, yoga, whatever that looks like for you, you owe yourself that much. Um, and that's your work. That's your work, not the job that you hate, not the classes that you're going to that you hate, not the relationship that's sucking you dry. No, that's not work. That's self-sacrifice. All of that demeaning activities is self-sacrifice, and it's your trauma brain, replaying those programs of I need to perform to be accepted, to be loved. I need to be something else, other than who I am to be loved. Bell Hooks in her book also talked about there being two kinds of work in this historical juncture, and it's work that is destructive to the human condition, destructive to your feeling of aliveness. And then there's work that is essential to your development, and that's the self-care, that's the self-love, that's the fighting for your freedom that I'm talking about. If you don't do the work of like acknowledging whatever is causing you pain, if you don't do the work of like stop running to escapism and running away from your problems, and instead just sitting down and listening to yourself, what is this thing that is causing you pain? Because the truth is, your abandonment issues are there because you're abandoning yourself. Yes, say in my case, my father abandoned me when I was younger, and I experienced abandonment in other ways, but that is the past. And in the reality, in the present, I am keeping those programs alive by abandoning myself. So it takes work to sit down in that pain of like, to sit down in the discomfort. Like, it's really hard, but when you do it, that's when you grow. That's when you move. That's when you flow. And it's gonna be worth it every single time. Every single time. Every single time. And I'm gonna make a video coming up about the how a lot of us don't trust ourselves. Like, self-trust is the most common, in my experience, most common ailment. Whenever I don't trust myself, the kind of punishment, the kind of just misery that comes from me not trusting myself is so, like, what is the word? The kind of consequences that come from me not trusting myself are soul-wrenching. They feel like terrible breakups. They feel like deep betrayal, but it's from within. And it hurts so deeply. But you can't run away from the hurt. You can't just break up with a person and then move on and be like, okay, that person did me wrong. No, this was me, and I have to be with her now. We have to work it out now. So it hurts even more because you can't run away from it. And then it leads me to thinking about, if I'm doing work, then what truly is success? What is success? If I'm doing work, then what is success? Success is expanding on my happiness, constantly growing my happiness, constantly expanding my ability to experience joy and fulfillment and all these high frequency emotions, constantly elevating my vibration all the way up to the most high. Kiriana, like, success is fulfilling my deepest goals of my soul. Like, success is doing all the things that my little self wanted to do so bad and she couldn't do it. She didn't have the strength at that time. Success is getting strong enough to do all of those things, to make her so happy, to have her be jumping up and down screaming. That's success. That's success. Success is experiencing my own divinity. Success is remembering that I'm a fucking goddess. Like, that feeling that you get when you remember that you are that I am, that you the feeling that you get when you remember that the creative energy that bursted the universe into being, that bursted everything in existence, lies within you, and you're able to tap into that and live from that point. Oh, baby, that is success. That is success. Yes. And when you're able to see your own divinity and expand that. I'm looking at this dragonfly sitting on this branch right now, and it's balancing so beautifully, and the wind is blowing and it's tipping it side to side, and I'm like, that's God experiencing divinity all around you in every single thing you do. Ooh, baby. Ooh, that's success. Success is living with ease. Success is living with ease and living in pleasure. Success is being able to fulfill all of my deepest desires and not feel guilty, greedy, or ashamed. Success is pushing past the boundaries of fear. Success is allowing myself to be a student of failure, to be a student of fear, and learn from it and challenge it, you know? That's success. And I pray that whoever's watching this, finds the courage, the curiosity to explore your inner landscapes, to not run away from your hurt or your pain or whatever that's tearing you up inside. Like, I pray that whatever discomfort you may be experiencing at this point, that you get curious with it, that you get intimate with it, and that you don't abandon yourself this time. I pray that you're able to remember that you're worthy of the freedom that says, I'm not bounded by anything. I am God energy, and I am able to create the reality that I deserve, and I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to create the reality I want right now. I'm going to stop clenching my jaw, loosen my shoulder. I'm going to walk with the kind of pride that I know I am inherently born with, you know? I pray that for you, because you deserve it. You deserve it all. That's it for now. Ashe. Wrap it up with an ashe every time. Ashe. And that's it for now. To give y'all a little bit of a heads up on what I got coming for you. I really, really want to meet in community with everybody. I have right now, I think, 19 subscribers, and I love each and every single one of y'all. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for you choosing to spend time with me and to join on this journey of self-expansion, of self-discovery, of self-remembrance, of reclaiming your power. I'm thankful for it all. I'm thankful for each and every single soul that sees the value in this message. And coming up, I do want to engage in some more community meetings. And that's probably going to be on a different platform, maybe Patreon, but that's coming up because one of the things that really helped me to tap into my self is syncing my cycles with the universe, so with the moon, with the planetary objects and everything. So full moon ceremonies, new moon ceremonies, manifestation, quantum journaling, all that. So if that sounds interessante to you, come along, my friend, and we're gonna become together. We're gonna grow together, and we're gonna be free. God damn it! Scratch that. We're going to remember our freedom, and we are going to enjoy our freedom. Ashe. Till next time.